Yo, what is going on? And welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, a beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. I'm Ramsey Abushala, editor of urbanpitch.com. To my left, on the couch, Julio Matarosa, executive director of Vibes. What is going on?
I'm trying to do a little Kim dance.
Yeah, it's
something like that.
Yeah, okay. All right, I see it. I see the vision. I see the vision. It is it's Thanksgiving week.
Woo woo.
We are heading in. Hope everybody is having a nice week of easy work, right? This is coming out on Tuesday.
The next day is my birthday, so send me a birthday shout out.
Yeah. But hopefully that the time you're spent with your family isn't too stressful. The plates you get aren't too dry. You got some seasoning on there. It's a time to be thankful for things, Julio.
Yeah.
What are you thankful for this holiday season as we kick off holiday season 2024?
Thankful for cutting off family. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Man, thankful for just another year of life, man. A lot of things have been going on. We've been busy this whole year.
Yeah.
With pod, travels, work. So it's time. I'm happy we're getting to the point where we're winding down. Things are slowing down. So thankful for that because Lord knows I need my rest.
Yeah, we made it through another year. This will be 3 years going on.
3 years of potting.
Of potting. We had. I just saw it was the 2-year anniversary of the World Cup kickoff.
Yeah, we had Kaden Lacosta came to talk January about that kick he did on Gareth Bale when they were still teammates. Yeah, fresh out of MLS Cup championship together.
Right. And so I mean that was 2 years ago. I feel like that was kind of like what we focused on a lot that first year, and now Copa America this summer. I mean, I feel like by the time we blink, it's going to be World Cup 2026.
No, definitely.
Already, so.
2 years ago, also AJ came over and talked about his retirement with Sean Franklin.
Right, AJ De La Garza.
Yeah. Galaxy Legends. Dang, time's been moving.
I know. So I am thankful for that as well. I'm thankful that we're still doing this. I'm thankful that we still get a platform to speak our minds and to talk about the sport that we love and the culture that goes around it. So appreciate everybody who's been following along all the way. Both the new listeners and the returning ones that have been with us from the start. Back when we had this going on at the base before Julio and I were co-hosting. Just thankful to everybody that's been with us, and anybody that's listening to this, thank you for that. Even if you hate listening,
definitely.
We're thankful for each and every one of
things have gotten better from moving couches just to moving 2 or 3 lights. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, we were moving couches upstairs when we first started.
Hot, no
AC. It's crazy. Now we got this nice little studio set up. So
look at us.
I know. Yeah. You know what I am thankful for, Julio? What else I'm thankful for? I'm thankful I am not the head coach of Inter Miami because seems like there's I don't know if there's a circus, a shakeup going on in Inter Miami, but Tata Martino was brought on to be Messi's manager. Yeah. Just before they made the announcement last season that he was gonna join, stepped down for personal reasons. Kind of a surprise, I think. I don't think a lot of people.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, especially after the season that they had. We didn't have a chance to talk about this because we've had guests the last few weeks. But MLS playoffs has been going on. Of course, Miami, first round exit after a record-breaking season. And I don't know. They're gonna have a press conference later this week. So by the time this comes out, the press conference will already have happened. But I don't know. Why? I guess. Today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA and college basketball, NHL to UFC, and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here. Was this surprising to you?
Yeah. I feel like he's done it before, though. He just left out of nowhere just because things don't go his way. But a lot of their stars were mad. Jordy was mad. He was really outspoken about the format.
The playoffs format.
Yeah, playoff format. Messi really hasn't talked. I just don't like it. I don't like it either.
You don't like that he stepped down?
No, I'm talking about the MLS format. But,
Okay.
I'm not surprised if he stepped down. It is a World Cup year coming up.
Okay. You think he's trying to get back into the international
it's
game?
International. I think it fits him better with the club because I think, club, like with Barcelona, he left.
He left after he didn't have a full season in Barcelona.
And then he picked up, I forget the national team that he picked up.
Might have been Paraguay.
Might have been Mexico.
Mexico was later on down the road.
Yeah, so.
So, I mean, you look at his coaching history, he doesn't tend to stick around. And whether that's a mark on him as, like, from a personal standpoint, that he doesn't like staying around, or, things just don't go his way. I mean, they're across the board. I feel like, it's rare for a manager to stick in one spot for, 5+ seasons. You even see, Pep Guardiola, he just signed an extension. A lot of people were thinking that he was going to leave. Jurgen Klopp, stepped down at Liverpool after a really long stretch. But especially in today's game where, there's so many more opportunities, in different leagues or national teams.
More money.
And, there's more money involved. There's higher stakes. There's more pressure. There's, like look at the revolving door that Chelsea has had.
Yes.
AS Roma has fired 2 managers this season. So I feel like it's harder for managers to have that continuity. But I think for me it was a little bit surprising because, Tata Martino was brought on to be Messi's guy. They had a record-breaking season. This first year, I don't think it counts because it wasn't a full season.
Yeah.
They still did some good things. Winning the Leagues Cup, getting to the U.S. Open Cup final. The MLS regular season, they were already in last place when Messi came in. I don't think there's any expectations there. But now with a full season under the belt, they go on, 70+ points. I think 72 was the number.
Record-breaking.
Break the record. Even without Messi,
but that's crazy though. LAFC broke it, and then out of nowhere, and then the following year, Philly broke.
New England.
New England broke it, and then boom.
Yeah, I mean, it's like as
the teams get better, that record just.
And then once you see the record break, it becomes like the whole thing with the first guy who broke the 5-minute mile.
Definitely.
Right.
That was like a 4 something.
I don't know. So no one broke a 5-minute mile. I don't know if this is a direct 1-to-1 comp, but. Everyone thought it was impossible to break a 5-minute mile. One guy broke it, after I don't know how many years, let's just say, 60, 70 years of running at the time. I don't know if even it was that long, but people thought, 5-minute mile, impossible to break 5 minutes. He gets under 5, and then like literally 2 months later, something like quickly, like somebody else got it. So once you see that barrier broken, it's easier to break it again. I don't know if that's exactly the case because it's a team sport and all that, but it is interesting to see, and they're playing more games with the expansion teams as well. So there's that as well.
But it wasn't a failure. I don't think it was a failure on Tata Martino's part
for this season.
For this season, he had a great season. The team was playing. They were banged up. Busquets was banged up in that playoffs. Yeah. He put him in, and you can tell like he was a step slower. Even though during the whole season he was looking amazing. He was running that middle. Every time those 3 connected. The Barcelona, 4 sometimes, but every time they connected, it was a ball to Jordi to Messi back to Jordi to Suarez. So they look like everybody in the beginning of the season. All you theorists, MLS has a script saying, "Oh yeah, MLS."
Right.
I heard some of the Galaxy fans say it. MLS is already going to win it. Mm-hmm. MLS wants to give it to them the year. LAFC is not the team that they like anymore. It's Miami. The following year is going to be San Diego.
Right.
So like. Everybody thought
it's not scripted. It's not scripted.
So everybody thought Miami was gonna win it. So yeah, it's crazy.
It is wild, and I think we've shared our thoughts on this best of 3 series for the playoffs. I don't like it. A lot of the players don't like it, especially the European players. But at the same time, it's like, okay, Atlanta United beat them 2 out of 3 times. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. They can't be mad at it.
But now what are they gonna do now? Like, oh no, let's do best out of 5 game series.
I know. So it's I like the either two legs. And with aggregate scores, or just do it straight up single elimination.
They don't want to do it aggregate scores because then they're gonna be copying a little bit of the Mexican league, and I think we're trying to find our own uniqueness. Yeah. Even though the Mexican league, I was watching one of the games and they had like a English saying for one of their games. I'm like, that's crazy. Like they're trying to be more Americanized, and we're just trying to move away as much as possible from the Mexican league. Because the best out of three is cool. Don't get me wrong, Atlanta, congratulations, but it's just room for injuries. And the best team won't win it. Just
and then you see these like long breaks, like Ricky Puig was saying for the Galaxy that
they qualified 2 weeks ago.
It's almost been a month between because the Galaxy only won in 2 games, whereas it took three games for a lot of the other series.
And now you gonna do best of
and now it's a single elimination.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So even without that, like ignoring that, moving on to who's gonna replace Martino at Miami. Now you have this is a scenario where I don't think this is a very attractive job for a coach, and this is going to have to be. This is going to have to be like I know Xavi is the first name that's been thrown out there. Obviously the Barcelona connection. You need to have someone that Messi respects. I think Messi is going to get the final say so. Like he practically owns.
Because this is last season. Yeah,
so He has 1 season left on his contract with another option. So. Regardless, even if he had a 5-year deal, like they're not going to hire someone. They're not going to hire someone that Messi doesn't get along with, or that he doesn't vibe with, or that he doesn't respect. This is not. They're not going to hire, some MLS coach that doesn't have necessarily the background, and that's why they hired Martino, because he has that international pedigree. They were familiar with each other. He speaks Spanish, so they need to have somebody with that kind of pedigree. And Xavi is the first one. But now you're kind of getting into the weeds here, because now it's like, okay, it's great. First of all, I'm going to say it's great that obviously that Messi is there, and he's bringing the eyeballs and the notoriety and the recognition to MLS. But now it's like he's running the show. He's like it seems more of a distraction or a circus in this case to me. And I am interested in seeing how this will play forward in terms of replacement.
No, definitely. Just going back to being an attractive job, you come in to work for an international star, Beckham. You come in to coach arguably the best player in the world all times, Messi, and then you have an all-star crew, which everybody has the option to leave next year. So. It's win now or be gone.
Right.
So it ain't like you're coming in with no pressure. It's game one. If you don't perform, it's already, hey, was this the right hire?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of
high stakes, high pressure, and you might not have necessarily the power or the the leeway to kind of do things your way.
Bring Thierry Henry. I'm back on the boat.
Yeah, there we go.
Back on the boat.
That's a name too.
Yeah.
But like, if you were to coach anywhere else in MLS or in the world, really, you would still be able to have like a manager, regardless of the players. There's always that dynamic, the power dynamic between the players and the manager, and you see that kind of get played out on high-profile teams, across the globe.
Lakers.
But especially in football too.
Yeah.
But for MLS specifically, coaching Miami and coaching Messi is a completely unique situation because of the power that Messi has over MLS. No other league has that situation where, it's this guy's league. The entire league basically is surrounded around Messi, and which is why the league is kicking itself that Miami got eliminated in the first round. Nowhere else, like in the Premier League, like it's not. It isn't, Harry Kane's league or Erling Haaland's league. Like Pep Guardiola is arguably a bigger name than Erling Haaland.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's the power dynamic with the biggest managers in the biggest leagues is like they have that. Whereas in MLS, it's not. It's not the same.
Because when Mourinho coaches, he's the special one.
Right. Exactly.
The team plays his style of play. El Cholo Simeone, Atletico plays.
Yeah.
His style of game is not because we got Julian Alvarez.
Right.
So, that is true. So, whoever comes in, first of all, he has to agree with you.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be easy how Bruce Arena's got San Jose. And the thing is, like, he has a time to rebuild this.
Yeah.
They gave him GM power and coaching power. So, he's able to turn that team around like he wants. Right now, it's, hey, Messi, I don't know if I like that guy.
Yeah, and you're answering to the players, whereas the players should be like technically should be answering to you as the head coach.
At this point, just get a young player that just retired shortly that had played with Messi and give him a chance.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's gonna be like LeBron James making the subs.
And that's a similar comp, I think. Where
LeBron James gets his own son drafted.
You see LeBron kind of making they call him Le GM. Like it's a similar like power dynamic. I think even further like extreme.
More extreme, LeBron James and clutch sports into one player.
Yeah. And I don't think any other player has that kind of power. Not even,
Nobody, because MLS is Messi and Messi is MLS.
Yeah.
That $1 billion that Apple gave, it wasn't for I don't want to say a name anymore. I'm changing this year. For Edson Buttle, it's for a.
And then he goes and says it.
Yeah.
Dude, you're insane.
I know. Me and Edson Buttle. He don't even know who we are. I'm just, keep on throwing his name out.
Shout out to Edson, man.
Shout out to Edson, bro. Shout out to you, brother. Great national trajectory. No, but like I'm saying, like it's ongoing joke. Sorry, Edson, is just between me and Ramsey at this point. But there's no other league that compares to that. If we lose Messi, MLS. MLS ratings are going down dramatically.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, now we're trying to bring in Griezmann. Messi's bringing all these bigger names now that hopefully after he leaves, the league can have those eyes, make more money, and this World Cup's coming. And so it's not even MLS, it's U.S. soccer.
Right.
Because the World Cup is coming and Messi's giving these eyes to for international play. I mean, the different countries to come and look at our leagues and get to know our teams. So for when 2026 comes, you're going to be like, hey, like, look at this random person that's never seen MLS or Inter Miami or LAFC from France because all the World Cup players are playing for LAFC. Or in Spain, Riku Puig for LA Galaxy. So, but it all starts with Messi. Without Messi, this league is not what it is.
And going back to Martino, I think he was a good fit for Miami because MLS, we're talking about it, is so unique. There's like, all these like little quirks that are so much different than the European leagues, and he had that familiarity. He obviously he won MLS Cup with Atlanta. He knew the ins and outs of the league, and he could kind of navigate that while also managing the whole Messi thing and having that familiarity with Messi as well. So he kind of had that Venn diagram. I don't know if there's any other coaches that have MLS experience and that have that connection to Messi.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like the MLS travel.
That too.
Even all right. So the furthest that most of the teams travel in Europe, it's Champions League, and it's 2-hour flights.
Right.
If you really think about it, it's 2-hour flights. They can really go anywhere for 2 hours in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
In MLS, is week after week you have to do 5-hour flights, 3-hour flights. Like the travel is crazy compared.
And it's not charter either. For a lot of times, it's
not charter. Yeah. So like. If you think about it, like just look at the map, a European map of the big teams that play champions, that play during season, how far the travel is, like hour, 2 hours, and then 3 hours at most. Those are weekend flights.
I mean, the travel, the rules, the things are a little bit different in MLS. The playoffs, something like the playoff, even something like the playoffs is completely foreign to anyone else that isn't familiar with the league. So
so Jordi Alba was outspoken about that, and I think Landon Donovan was like, if you knew you were coming to this already from the beginning of the season, don't complain. Come on, you old American players just gotta chill, bro. Like you guys made us lose a whole World Cup, so get out of here.
Yeah. Talking about American players, do you have anything else first off before we move on?
No. Whoever gets his next job, this Inter Miami job,
good luck.
It has good luck, and you have to have a name.
Yeah.
And you have to have a strong personality because U.S. media will come after you.
Yeah, and I don't think that there are very many like names that
bring the special one.
Yeah, I mean that's seriously that's the type of player that their name that we're talking about. Your Thierry Henry. I mean I think Xavi makes the most sense because he's without a team and he has the Barcelona connection. But I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, let's move on. We got U.S. men's national team action, Nations League quarterfinal against Jamaica. A couple of nice wins. First one I think left a little bit more to be wanted, but the second one at home, I think 4-2 was the score. We saw a little bit more dynamic action from the players. Tim Weah scoring bangers. What are your thoughts on the performances, Pochettino, Nations League as a whole? Do you have any thoughts, like strong thoughts on this before we get into some of the other minor stuff that
definitely.
happened?
Yeah, I think it was great. Playing away is always hard, especially in these countries with their facilities are not the best. Jamaica's been known from like people from the women's team arguing with the federation to have different problems, and the field wasn't the best conditions. So it's hard to play the style of soccer that Pochettino wants to play when the conditions is not set for that.
Sure.
So it was a hard fought win. They got that early goal, and Pochettino said it like, we played good the first half. Second half we didn't play like I wanted us to play. So that means we have to be a two-half team. We just can't be a one-half team. Same thing happened here in the U.S. They came in guns blazing, did good, and then we slowed down second half. But the coach saying like, we had a great performance, but it was one-half performance. You have to have a two-half performance. So he's already putting that pressure. Timothy Weah came out and said, we are playing different because our coach is letting us play. I saw that too. We didn't have the liberty in prior regimes. Mm-hmm. So it just shows that mentality is changing. We have to beat Jamaica. We have to beat El Salvador. We have to beat Guatemala. Any team that's not ranked as high as us, we have to have these 4-0 performance all the time.
Right.
It's expected.
Yeah, and it's difficult from an intensity perspective to maintain that for 90 minutes, regardless of who you're playing, but especially when you're playing a team that you're superior to, like you're more athletic than, you have more quality players. Sometimes it's easy to just kind of let your foot off the gas a little bit, especially after taking an early lead. And when you have a young team that's inexperienced, you see that sometimes. And you saw it at the World Cup, even in 2022 against Wales. You know, they went up. That was probably that first half against Wales was one of the best first half performances that we saw from a U.S. team in a long time. They come back and really, like, part of that was the manager, part of that was tactics, but I think another part of that was they hadn't been there before, and it maintaining that intensity, that level of intensity is hard to do, especially against a more experienced team like Wales. You know, Wales had a wealth of experience on their side as well. So
and like we're seeing new stars emerge from the team. Tasman played amazing.
Buzio's been getting some minutes.
Buzio's been getting some minutes. Forget the right back's name. Replacing
McKenzie.
Not McKenzie. I'm sorry. Left back replacing Serginho Dest.
The guy who plays in
he played in Venetia.
Joe Scally.
Joe Scally did great. And like McKinley, they were complaining because he's benched from first like preseason game, but there was a lot of people on Twitter saying like, oh, he knows how to treat that star. He knows if he benches him, like he'll come back playing harder than what he. I'm like, that's done. Like, that guy's a proven player. He's been in Juventus. Like they've thrown him in the dirt so many times, and he's always being productive.
And still comes
being
back.
productive. Oh man, free him. But he has to go to a team that wants him. Like,
but now I feel like he's played his way into London multiple times, and now they do still want him.
Yeah, I don't want to play myself into your love. Either from the beginning, because it's been 2 years of him they're wanting a ways to sell him. Yeah, but
I think it was Allegri was the manager there, and he got along with him. They were pretty close, and that was his guy. But once he left, they were like, okay, that's the previous manager's guy. We don't want him, and he's just kind of stuck around. And now he's getting consistent playing time. He's playing very well along with Tim Weah in Serie A. Serie A, I feel like across the board, there's been a lot of high level American players.
And Pulisic is showing why we have so much hype around him. Even though Donovan was like, that goal was so amazing. Like, oh my God, you have to be a special player. It was a great goal, but he just won the step over the goalie. The goalie, he plays MLS, Philadelphia Union, I believe. Jamaican goalie.
Oh yeah, Andre Blake.
Then he beat him to the ball. Of course, you don't want to crash, but it wasn't that great. Donovan, relax.
Yeah. I mean, you're always gonna glaze a little bit harder when it's
super glazing.
But then he hit the Trump celly. That I want to talk about that because
Jesse Marsh throwing shots saying my wife what did he say? Basically, what did he say? Jesse Marsh was like, my wife freaked out about the celebration.
Interesting.
You can take it however you want. So meaning like freaked out like on a bad way or in a good way. Yeah. So
what?
Like literally like he tweeted that. I'm like, dang. Like
Jesse.
He's
Jesse having a good time.
Well, like he's keeping his Canadian USA beef prevalent, and then
I like that,
and it's throwing Mexico in the back burner. So Mexico Canada plays that semifinal in before years, Canada would not even be
Yeah.
a thought. Like, all right, we can't wait for that USA Mexico.
Right.
But Canada has beat Mexico before and beat the US. So
it'll be interesting to see the quarterfinal setup.
If they win that, it's gonna be that rivalry that we've had through the beginning of time with Mexico is gonna take a back burner if Canada wins and we both make it to the final.
Yeah.
Shout out to Panama, you're there, but just give the U.S. the pass already.
Right. Yeah. But back to the celebration. I think that caused a little bit of a ruffle. Obviously, we're in a bit of a transitional time. The obviously with the election and all that. But I think Pulisic went out and said afterwards that it wasn't a political move. He was just doing it because he thought it was fun or whatever. But I think honestly, I think he meant that. It wouldn't be surprising if he didn't. If that was if he is a lot of people are saying Pulisic is a I forget the names they call him, dude, MAGA Messi or there's another really good one I forget MAGA where I saw, but I think that if it was if it was
he looks like a Joe Rogan.
Move, yeah, exactly. If it was a move in support of him, just say it with your chest at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't say it wasn't. It was just something I thought it was cool. Say it with your chest. I'm all for players speaking out their minds and shouting out whatever they believe in. I don't like it when they do things and kind of hide behind.
Definitely. Throw that rock. Let them know with your chest that was me.
And the whole politics and sports stuff, it's just such a subjective thing now at this point where it's I only like politics when I agree with them in sports. So it's just a whole bag of worms that we're not gonna.
We're over the shut up and dribble.
Yeah, exactly.
Speak with your chest, bro.
Yeah.
And if you're a Trump supporter, don't worry about it. You're playing in Europe. The hate that you're gonna get here, so what? You're playing in Europe. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Well, you're drinking a spritz.
You should be able to, and I think now more athletes are going to be you even see some baseball players that are becoming more emboldened in their political beliefs on both sides. So
but it should be you shouldn't be hated for believing in something, whatever it is. Whoever you follow. At the end of the day, as long as we can have conversation without being overly angry or just overly dramatic.
Yeah. There's a line though. There is a line where you can if you believe in something that's completely egregious, then I have some cause to do it. But if it's something that doesn't deny existence or directly cause harm to others, then man, we can have disagreements. And
definitely. We're not gonna agree. We're human. We're all different.
Yeah.
Message.
Yeah. Message. But I think the whole
just own it though. Just own it. If you're gonna do the dance, just be like, yeah, man, I like the dance.
I do believe him though. I think that he's doing it because he thought it was funny and he's in a place to where he can kind of think it's funny. You know what I mean? So I think that he's was sincere in it, but if he wasn't, then that's a punk move.
Yeah, it's super punk move.
Yeah. And then the McKinney and Musa, I think.
They did it
with him too. So,
but Musa is European.
He's American.
No, he's not.
What are you talking about?
Wasn't he born in England?
Yeah, but you can still be American and not be born in the country.
He was a gift. He was a Serginho Dest type.
I mean, so was
Serginho Dest.
So was Serginho Dest. So was the
Jermaine Jones.
Anthony Robinson.
They're gifts.
You know what I mean? The Anthony Robinson was playing in England for his whole
He was
career.
born in England and raised in England.
Yeah. So that doesn't make him any less American. He's still American.
They fish in ships.
Crazy, dude. You're insane. There's that whole. I mean, now there's that whole debate though with Joel Embiid.
Definitely.
Cameroonian.
No, but it doesn't matter. If his teams know the true Pulisic, it doesn't matter. Because you're right. All his teammates were around him, and
if it's not causing a rift in the locker room, that's fine. It would be disappointing. Obviously, if it was, but I think that at this point, it's just speak your mind, say it with your chest, and continue to not make it a distraction. That's
basically it.
Okay. What about staying in Nations League? Mexico. You were talking about Mexico, Canada, that semifinals. Mexico and Honduras squared off in the quarterfinals. And that first game in Honduras, we've had multiple people say that Honduras is the hardest place to play in.
Yeah, definitely.
From a national team perspective. You know, whether it was Nico Chacaris, who's with us, you know, a couple weeks ago with the youth national team playing out there. Kellen Acosta mentioned Honduras being a really tough place to play. And it kind of showed, like, they were wilding out there.
Yeah, like Honduras like completely different like from there. But then again, Mexico played in one of the states with the highest altitude. I forgot Honduras number 10. He came in 20 minutes later. They had to sub him out because he came in as a sub and he got subbed out like all in 20 minutes just because he couldn't breathe no more.
Yeah.
But that first game, Honduras played with a little bit of intensity, with a little bit of just we want this game. But at Mexico, they just stayed back and defended. And Mexico's like I was telling my friends, if you let Mexico attack you for 90 minutes, it's gonna be a long, long game, and they're gonna score 3 or 4 goals easily, just because they have world class players on top. I used to think Mexico's defense was always better than their offense, but like I think right now
recently it's not been
recently it's just their offense. Their defense is kind of shaky, so that might be their Achilles heels. But yeah, like because there was a play where Honduras against Mexico in Mexico. I don't know the Hondurans names like that, but he was running down the right side. It was a counterattack. He had 2 free open players, the Colombian Honduran that is naturalized, and then Andy Nájera played for LAFC, DC United, MLS legend. All he had to do was cross it, and he took a shot from outside the 18 on the right side. It was not even central. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? That could have been that 2-1 that took Mexico out. But little things like that, like that counterattack. If it was a better developed team, that would have been a goal.
Yeah. And then, you know, you had the post-game antics with, you know, throwing stuff at the coach and all that. So that I feel like when you see things like that, I don't know, like it's wild to see.
Throwing cans at an opposing coach. There's no need for that in the game. I did see pictures, I don't know if it's true or not, like of the coach flicking him off.
Yeah.
So he got what he deserved. Because there's a Mexican coach in Colombia.
Right.
Yeah. That basically, he was celebrating, and then
he got banned.
He got banned for a year.
Yeah.
From the stadium.
That's crazy.
So
that's a completely harsh.
But the thing is, you gotta understand, like in this Latin American countries, like the teams that you go for, that's your gang.
Right.
It's like being a blood or a crip.
Right.
That's your gang. So like you're gonna die for your team. So imagine knowing that like these coaches going and being like taunting them, and so some of these stadiums don't let no opposing fans come in just because of the threat of violence. So the minute you start doing things like that to like encourage violence, it's gonna be hard for the local police to stop.
Yeah. It's wild, dude. It really is a wild just atmosphere when it comes to stuff like that. And then you take a look at the security at South American games. You saw at the Copa America here, they didn't have that same security. And you saw what happened.
They broke into the final.
We're working on a story for Urban Pitch going into, you know, the South American security. So that'll be up. Check that out on the site soon. And, you know, like the fans don't play around, man.
No, the blue shirts and yellow shirts that we have here in our stadiums, they're not going to do nothing, bro.
No.
They're not going to do nothing.
We should test out how far we can go.
Nah, I'm good.
We got to find a surrogate. We got to find someone that, like, doesn't have, just no filter, and we just tell them to do something, and they'll
try jumping down. But imagine you got to be more organized. Like you have to like all run as a group together.
See how far we can get.
Yeah,
we can get the farthest.
Them blue shirts are not gonna do. They're not gonna stop nothing, man.
Yeah.
Like blue, yellow shirts are not gonna stop nothing. Like they just look at you and like, "Are you a body? You're hired."
Yeah.
And they don't even train. And some of these guys say they don't even get trained. So no, but like. And we saw it for the South America Copa America final. These guys
completely unprepared.
It got to a point where the yellow shirts were like, "Hey,"
they were instructed to let people in.
Yeah,
because they had no. They're
not gonna risk their safety for minimum wage.
Exactly. Yeah, and they didn't have the necessary not infrastructure, but
barriers to
stop. So at that point, it was either we're helping, like we're actually saving lives by letting people in and not trying to stop it, which is crazy to say.
Shout out to the Colombians going in the gutters, yo.
Dude, climbing the like Die Hard style, dude, in the attic vents and yeah, it's just it's another world out there, and
you gotta be careful. Yeah, these people, that's all they know. They grew up seeing like Boca River. You saw what happened in 2019, where 2018, 2019.
They had to do it in Spain.
Do it in Spain because even though they know what's going on, they block like four blocks before even going to the stadium.
Yeah,
things still can get out of hand with these fans. So it's gonna be hard.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we see that intensity and that passion for the game in a safe manner come 2026, even at the Club World Cup next year. I don't know if it's going to be the same, but there are going to be South American teams, there are going to be Mexican teams in that Club World Cup. So we'll see if that intensity kind of spills over into that tournament, because I think that's something that has been talked about as kind of like a lukewarm thing, even with this expansion. What
scares me is like, well, not just scare me, but concerns me is the amount of the way things fans out of America say things without a filter. So, which I don't think some of our more outspoken fans will like from Mexico saying screaming out screaming out words that they shouldn't. Are they gonna stop the game every minute for that? Because
they were doing that at was it Nations League in the final where they kept doing that, and they were stopping the play. They were stopping play. They were giving not penalties but yellow cards. I don't remember what they were doing. There was some kind of like
yellow cards to the fans is crazy.
Yeah, they were doing some. I forget what it was because it was a while ago, but it was in a tournament. It was in a tournament where they were doing that chant every time, and they stopped play. But the Mexican fans, they just continue to do it. So I don't know how they're going to control that. I don't think it's possible to control that. It's on the fans at that point. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We got 2 more years to prepare for it.
Yeah,
year
and change.
Year and change. Dang, year's almost over.
I know. Year's almost over. It's been a good year though. It's been a good year.
Hey, we can't complain.
Yeah. All right. I think we can leave it off here. This has been good. Got to a lot of stuff, but thank you again. We're very thankful for everybody in this time of thanks. We're giving thanks to you guys, sticking with us and listening to us, commenting, liking, subscribing, all of that. Make sure if you haven't already to do that. It feels weird to have to say that, but we still got to leave us a review on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this. 5 stars, preferably 1 star. If it's funny enough, we'll read it live. But. Once again, thank you, and hope that you're having a good holiday with you and your loved ones. Julio, anything else?
Shout out Edson Buttle.
Shout out Edson Buttle. Thankful for Edson Buttle.
Thanks for Edson Buttle, man.
Come on the show, man.
We'll
do a celebrity boxing.
Nah, man. He just gets. It's because as a player, as a kid, I remember the most because. Because I'm telling you, I said the story before. I was the biggest
We've said this.
I was the biggest Beckham fan growing up, and then there was a lot of complaints about him, and I'm like, yeah, I complain about him, but shout out to you though.
Yeah. Okay, this has been another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, a beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. For Ramy Zabashala, Julio Monterosa, we'll see you next week.